Part 7, falling for the narcissist. So I'm crying after they've told me that my baby's gonna die, essentially. But they gave me two choices. They're like, okay, we can induce you now and just get the baby out, just get it over and done with, or you can wait until the baby comes by itself or something like that. Like, it will pass basically by itself, kind of like a miscarriage. And I was like, but they did say if we get the baby out as soon as possible, we can help it as soon as possible. Basically, it can be in NICU, intensive care, neonatal unit, if we get it out right now. But of course, it might be severely, disabled or, die quicker because of the fact that it's just too early for a child to be out at that time. So, but obviously, the longer we leave the baby inside me, the longer it's sitting in the infection, because I apparently have a really bad infection at this point, which is why they were so worried about me having such a high temperature and had to hook me onto IV really, really soon. So I decide, okay, the best thing for the baby might be to hold it in, because obviously the longer the baby is in you, the less problems that it might have, right? Because obviously if you have a premature baby, it increases the risk of, complications, the baby having issues, basically. So I think at the time, you know what, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for this baby to come. So I'm just holding the baby in, but I'm thinking to myself, you know what, it gets to 6 o'clock the next day. I'm like, maybe this isn't the right decision to make. Maybe we should have just, gotten the baby out so they could help it and start giving it antibiotics and stuff. Like the baby's literally sitting in dirty water right now. It's literally sitting in infected waters. Like, should I, should we get it out? Like, so I just second guessed myself at the time, and I'm like, yeah, maybe we should be induced. So I tell them, you know what, I've changed my mind. Let's get induced. So they decide to, I think they injected me with something to start the contractions, and I'm induced. I think the baby was breached at the time, which is like the other way around. But I don't think it really mattered at the time because the baby was so small anyway. And yeah, they're like, even if this baby comes out, like the babies that are born this early normally die within a few minutes. They might take a few breaths and then they die. So I'm just thinking like, oh my God, like this hospital was keeping it real. They were just telling it like it is. They tell it raw. They're not like, they're trying to manage expectations out here. So it gets to the point where, they're like, push, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, obviously there was no crying. He was way too small, and they put the baby inside like a rubber bag because it can be very cold for them when they come out. So they put them in a bag so they keep warm. And so they put him in this bag and they put a little hat on him and stuff like that. And he's alive. He's actually alive. So, I think my sister was there at this point, she's like praying and stuff like that. This Randy's like, oh my God, yes, I'm a son of the living God and all of this kind of shit. He's like, yeah, that's what my God does and stuff like that. It's God that's done this and all of that, he's a dad finally and all that kind of stuff, even though the baby has been taken to NICU, okay, the neonatal unit. So anyway, we get a phone call from his prophet, okay? Like his family is very heavily dependent, should I say, on like prophets and divination and stuff like that. So like, they can't make a single move in their life without like consulting the prophet. If they want to travel, they need to consult the prophet. If they want to like do a course, consult the prophet. If they want to do anything in their life, they have to consult the prophet. And I think I'd spoken to this prophet one time while I was like living with him, and this prophet was like to me, oh, you're gonna find it very difficult to give birth or something like that. He said something and I was thinking, yeah, okay, sure, prophet. Because I'd always been raised a Christian, but not like a fanatical one, like not like, I don't really believe in like prophecies and shit like that. So I was like, yeah, sure. But yeah, so this prophet like comes on the phone. He's like, yeah, speak to the prophet of God. He's got a word for us and stuff like that about why this is happening to us, basically, because I'd had a healthy prayer. Look, I was 23 years old, all my maternity appointments had been clear. I'm young, I'm fit, there's nothing wrong with me, there's no complications. Like, how did this just happen out of absolutely nowhere that I was, giving birth, out of nowhere, prematurely? Like, what kind of nightmare is this? And I just felt like it was that day that I went to the shower and prayed for a miscarriage, I was like, wow, is it that? Like, did I like manifest this for myself? Like, did I do all this? Like, and I start to feel like really bad. But, you know, this alleged prophet of God, you know, he's coming at this traumatic time to us, where basically we're being told our baby's going to die. But, you know, he's alive at this point. We called him Zephaniah because obviously my name was Zara, with a Z, and I wanted my child's name to begin with a Z as well. So I called him Zephaniah because it was from the Bible, and obviously Randy was not going to name a child that wasn't anything from the Bible. Okay. So yeah, we called him Zephaniah. He was born at 23 weeks. He weighed 600 grams. I think it was 550 actually. I think he weighed 550 grams. Yeah. So you know, if you've ever bought like a 500 gram of anything, you know how small this baby was. You know how light he was as well. Yeah. I think I have a picture on my Instagram of him, but anyway, this prophet decides to tell me that the reason that all of this is happening is because my family are involved in a witchcraft coven, and they have basically pledged allegiance to this coven. And in order for them to pledge allegiance into this coven, they have to like give blood sacrifice kind of thing. I'm thinking, whoa, like whoa, listen, I'm a Christian at the time, and I'm like, yeah, I'm yeah, you know, all hail Jesus and all that, but I don't know nothing about these blood sacrifices. Okay, I don't know nothing about that. So he's like, yeah, your family, they give blood sacrifices to pledge allegiance to this coven. Your mother is a witch, your sister is a witch. They're all like high priestess witches and stuff like this. They're all like secretly jealous of you. They've basically like promised your child. They've promised your first child as a gift, basically, to appease the spirits or whatever their gods or whatever the fuck they're involved in. I'm like, whoa, like my sister was just here praying like in tongues out here, and now she's like the one plotting to like kill me and my baby. Like, what the hell? Like, people can be really, really dark. I'm like, whoa, like who can I even trust? My mom, on the day that I was giving birth, she had a flight to Ghana. And, you know, he's like, you know, what kind of mom would like travel like when their child is giving birth prematurely and stuff like that, which sat in my mind. And I was thinking, I mean, you know, I don't really have like that kind of relationship like with my mom anyway. So it's kind of, to me, it's kind of normal that she would jump on a flight when her daughter was giving birth prematurely. But, you know, to another person that would seem wild, you know, to him that would seem wild because he grew up, you know, he was really close with his mom. So I'm like, whoa, like, I don't even understand what's going on here. Like, why would my family do this to me? Like, how long has this been going on for? How long have they been in this witchcraft coven? Like, thank goodness Zephaniah didn't die. Oh my God. So they actually planned for my baby to die. Like, so he's like, yeah, basically don't tell them that he's alive. Don't tell them that he's alive. So I'm just like, yeah, sure. Okay. Because if they get to know that my baby's alive, they'll probably try and kill him off again, right? They'll probably try and like, you know, sink the dagger in a bit more. Like, let me like keep my mouth shut. So I am like not answering any calls. Like, I'm getting calls from like my high school besties, like my high school friends, my cousins, my friends, like everyone, like my sisters, like my aunties, like uncles. What? And I am not picking up this phone. I'm not picking it up. I don't trust anybody. Who else is involved in this coven? Who else is trying to kill my baby? Who else is involved in this? Because I don't trust anyone. And I'm so grateful that the prophet of God has revealed this to me, because I wouldn't have known. Like, I don't class myself like, you know, as a spiritual person. So if this man is like doing divination and he sees in the spirit that this is what these people are doing, like I better listen, because this is not something that people lie about. Like, why would he lie? Why would you lie? Somebody has given birth, like, you know, they've been told that their baby's gonna die. It's been born prematurely. Like, who the hell would lie about that? This is not nothing to be joking about. You know what I'm saying? So I believed him. And for 3 years, I didn't talk to any of my friends and any of my family. It was just this prophet of God and Randy.